guys on MySpace or?
This is your Marijuana Cultivation Cannabis Podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Glansberg, here as always from the James A. Garfield Studios. We are spilling the best cannabis growing tips to help you take your garden to the next level. Today's episode is an absolute deep dive into 5 essential topics for cannabis growers in 2024. Whether you're a rookie, just getting your hands dirty, or a seasoned veteran looking to optimize, we've got everything you need to step up your game this year. We're talking about how to maximize cannabis yields in 2024, the best organic nutrients for cannabis, pros, cons, and tips for 2024, sustainable cannabis growing, eco-friendly tips, best nutrients for California growers, regional challenges and solutions, how to choose the best lights for indoor cannabis growing in 2024. And as always, if you've got questions, feedback, or just want to tell me I'm wrong, shoot an email to mccpod@gmail.com. Plus, please don't forget to follow me on Instagram at mccpod for sneak peeks, grow tips, and plenty of behind-the-scenes action from my own garden of green. And the thing I hate the most, if you wouldn't mind going to my show page on Apple Podcasts, you scroll down past a few episodes on the top, and it shows where you can rate the podcast. As you well know, I'm new, so a 5-star podcast from you makes my day. I think I have like 6 right now. That's all I got for the advertisements. Let's get into this mofo. Number 1, how to maximize cannabis yields in 2024. Top tips for bigger harvests. If you're like me, there's one thing you dream about when you're growing: more buds, bigger buds, and the dankest buds possible. Yield is king, and in 2024, there are more tools, techniques, and tips available than ever before to help you maximize your harvest. Whether you're growing a couple of plants at home or running a full-scale operation, these yield-boosting strategies will ensure you're pulling down heavy harvests. First things first, let's talk genetics. No matter how dialed in your grow environment is, if you're not starting with the right strains, you're going to hit a ceiling when it comes to yield. Choosing the right genetics is critical because some strains naturally produce bigger yields, while others are bred for more potency, flavor, or specific medicinal effects. Here are some of the best high-yielding strains to look for in 2024. Critical Mass. This indica-dominant strain is a well-known heavyweight when it comes to yield, bred specifically for maximum production. Critical Mass delivers large, dense buds that weigh heavy on the scales. It's ideal for growers who want quick flowering plants, 7 to 8 weeks, and aren't willing to compromise on quality. Now, a classic, Blue Dream, one of the most popular strains, even of the past decade. Blue Dream is a well-balanced hybrid known for its resilience and high yield potential. Perfect for beginners, Blue Dream offers huge colas, a moderate flowering time like 9 to 10 weeks, and a potent, long-lasting high. Lastly, we have Amnesia Haze. If you're into sativa-dominant strains, Amnesia Haze is a fantastic option. It's a bit more demanding in terms of flowering time, 10 to 11 weeks on average, but the payoff is incredible. massive yields, and a cerebral high that keeps you buzzing for hours. But don't sleep on autoflowering strains in 2024. Breeders have been working overtime to develop autoflower strains that offer larger yields and better potency than ever before. Check out Autopotamus on Instagram. What he is doing is incredible with autoflowers. Just check it out. You'll go down a rabbit hole and you'll end up following him and wanting to do what he's doing. The plants he's pulling out, 1 pound autoflower plants out of indoor tents. Pretty amazing. So check him out. Speaking of Instagram, I mentioned those strains above, but if you have other not newer strains, but your favorite strains of 2024, your more recent favorites, even if they're an old strain, let me know at contactmccpod@gmail.com. I'd love to get a idea for maybe my own grow even. So like I was saying, don't sleep on autoflowering strains in 2024. Fast Buds' Gorilla Cookies Auto is a great example. I have personally grown this one. It's amazing. And it gives you a high yield in just 8 to 9 weeks from seed to harvest. So it's pretty cool. I like to sog with those type of, with Fast Bud plants in smaller pots. That's just me. I'm just obscene. When selecting seeds, obviously, it's not just about yield. Look at other factors like resistance to disease and climate suitability. Also, obviously, for the specific terpene profile you're looking for, and a specific medicinal or not effects. And then, for outdoor growers in harsh climates, strains like Northern Lights and Afghan Kush are incredibly resilient, making them ideal choices for areas with fluctuating temperature or humidity levels. Once you've chosen your strain, it's time to train your plants, that is, for maximum yields. Think of plant training like hitting the gym. It's all about sculpting your plants to grow in the most efficient way possible. One of the most popular techniques in 2024 is low stress training, or LST, as you will commonly hear it. LST involves bending and tying down your plant's branches so that more light can penetrate the canopy. By spreading out the plant's growth, you can ensure that all the bud sites get equal access to light, leading to bigger, fuller buds. Plus, it keeps your plants short and bushy, which is perfect for indoor grows with limited vertical space. Banana. Meow, meow. So here's how to do LST. Number 1, start early in the vegetative stage. When your plants have about 4 to 6 nodes, begin gently bending the main stem and securing it with soft ties. Continue training as the plant grows, bending side branches as well. By the time your plant hits the flowering stage, you'll have an even canopy with every bud site getting its share of the light. And a lot of this stuff is hard to visualize over podcast format, and I'm probably not doing the best job of explaining it. So, as always, contact mccpod@gmail.com if you have specific questions, need specific advice or how-tos, all that sort of stuff. We're happy to help out. Another technique that pairs well with LST is topping. By cutting off the main growth tip, you can force the plant to grow multiple colas instead of just one. More colas mean more buds. And when combined with LST, you'll end up with a bushy, high-yielding plant. For those growing in smaller spaces, the screen of green method, or scrog, is a must. This technique involves using a screen or net to guide your plant's branches horizontally, creating a flat, even canopy. Scrog is especially effective for increasing yield per square foot, making it ideal for closet grows or grow tents. Pro tip, the combination of LST, topping, and scrog is a surefire way to boost your yield by 30 to 40%. While it requires more time and effort than letting your plants grow naturally, the results speak for themselves. More buds, better light distribution, and denser colas. Getting the environment just right is crucial for maximizing yields as well. In 2024, growers are increasingly focusing on VPD, which is the relationship between temperature and humidity in your grow room. It stands for vapor pressure deficit. Most of us just refer to it as VPD. When your VPD is dialed in, your plants can absorb water and nutrients more efficiently, leading to faster growth and bigger buds. For the vegetative stage, aim for a VPD of around 0.8 to 1.2 kPa. During flowering, bump that up to around 1.2 to 1.5 kPa. Using a VPD calculator or an app will help you fine-tune this balance, ensuring your plants are in the optimal zone for growth. And keep in mind that a lot of places are selling what would we call the category? Controllers, I guess, that have built-in VPD calculator, not only telling you the VPD, but allowing you to set triggers based on VPD in addition to RH or temperature. Very cool. In terms of lighting, LEDs are still the reigning champions for indoor grows in 2024. LEDs produce less heat than traditional HPS lights, and they use 60% less electricity and provide a full spectrum of light that mimics natural sunlight. Top of the line brands like Spider Farmer and HLG have released new models that offer even better light distribution, deeper canopy penetration, and improved energy efficiency. For the growers looking to take it to the next level, CO2 enrichment is a game changer. Adding CO2 to your grow room can increase the rate of photosynthesis, allowing your plant to grow faster and produce bigger buds. Most cannabis plants can handle CO2 levels up to 1500 ppm, but this is most effective in a sealed grow room with high intensity lighting. Just remember, if you're going down the CO2 route, make sure you have a CO2 monitor and don't exceed safe levels. Safety first. According to a 2023 study, growers who used CO2 enrichment in their grow rooms saw an average yield increase of 25 to 30%. That's no joke. I don't use CO2 currently, and I'd like to revisit the prices for getting your CO2 canisters refilled. Tell me what you're doing to save money on your CO2. Contact mccpod@gmail.com. Last but definitely not least, let's talk about feeding that plant of yours. Cannabis is a hungry plant, especially when it's in the flowering stage. If you want to pull down those monster yields, you need to give your plants the right nutrients at the right time. Most growers use a combination of base nutrients, our NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and supplements during the vegetative and flowering stages. During veg, your plant will need more nitrogen to promote healthy green growing. As you transition to flowering, switch to a formula higher in phosphorus and potassium, which will help develop bigger denser buds. One nutrient line that I highly recommend for 2024 is Advanced Nutrients and their pH Perfect series. It automatically adjusts the pH of your water to the optimal range, which for me in various stages of my life is a lifesaver. If you've ever had pH issues, cause nutrient lockout, and if you haven't, consider yourself lucky. All right, now that we've covered yield optimization, let's move into the world of organic nutrients. If you're looking for a more natural approach to feeding your plants, organic nutrients might be just what you need. In 2024, there's a growing trend towards sustainability and organic practices in cannabis cultivation. But before you make the switch, let's take a look at the pros and cons along with some of the best organic nutrient options on the market. So why go organic? Well, it's the flavor and it's the sustainability factor. One of the biggest reasons cannabis growers are moving toward organic nutes is for the flavor. Organically grown cannabis is often said to have a more complex, richer flavor profile. That's because organic nutrients feed the soil, creating a healthy ecosystem where beneficial microbes break down nutes and make them available to the plant. This slower, more natural process gives your plants time to fully develop, resulting in buds that taste better and hit smoother. Full disclosure, this is the school of thought. However, I currently use synthetic mostly, but I also can't taste the difference. At least not lately. I haven't been able to. I am not the most. I'm not the best. I don't have the best tongue when it comes to tasting this or that. After a while, it all kind of tastes the same to me. Especially if I'm combusting it versus vaping it. But I digress. And then we obviously don't want to forget about the sustainability pro to doing this. Organic nutes come from renewable sources like fish meal, backguano, seaweed, and compost, which means they're much better for the environment than the synthetic fertilizers that I use. Plus, they don't contribute to nutrient runoff that can damage ecosystem and pollute water sources for the most part. For many growers, growing organic is about more than just the plants. It's about building a living soil. Over time, your soil becomes richer and more fertile as microbial life grows, meaning you'll need fewer amendments in future grows. So what are some of the best organic nutrient brands for 2024? Number 1, BioBiz, one of the most well-known organic nutrient lines out there. Their products like BioGrow and BioBloom are made from natural ingredients like seaweed, molasses, and humic acid. They're ideal for soil and coco coir, however the hell you say that. I've said it a million different ways. Setups and promote strong, healthy growth without the need for synthetic chemicals. Gaia Green, based out of Canada, where I am. Gaia Green offer dry amendments that are perfect for mixing into soil or top dressing your plants. Their products are slow release, so they can continue to feed your plant over time. This is especially handy if you don't want to spend every week mixing liquid nutes. And Earth Juice. This brand focuses on microbial rich fertilizers that work harmoniously with your soil to make nutrients available to the plant. Earth Juice is great for growers looking to build a living ecosystem, especially in no-till gardens. The last that we'll highlight is, second to last we'll highlight is Dr. Earth. Dr. Earth products are packed with beneficial bacteria and mycorrhizae, H to the is a, making them perfect for soil-based growers who want to boost microbial activity in their medium. Their organic fertilizer line includes ingredients like fish meal, kelp, and alfalfa, which are rich in the nutrients cannabis plants crave. Number 5, fish SH exclamation T. Yes, that's the name, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Fish shit is microbial additive that's rich in beneficial bacteria. It helps break down organic matter in your soil and makes your nutrients more available to your plants if you're looking to supercharge that soil. Fish shit is a great choice to pair with any organic nutrient line. So some other pros of organic nutrients, we talked about that improved flavor and aroma, allegedly, along with it being obviously more environmentally friendly. But we also get a healthier soil when we use organic nutrients. You're not just feeding your plant, you're building up the microbial life in your soil. Over time, this creates a self-sustaining ecosystem that becomes more fertile with each grow. How cool is that? And then, lastly, something that we may not think about is we'll have less risk of nutrient burn. Organic nutrients are slower to release, so there's less risk of overloading your plants with nutrients and causing nutrient burn. If you ever have burned your plants with too much synthetic fertilizer, you know how frustrating that can be. Organics offer a gentler approach. With any good thing comes a bad. With organic newts, we're going to have slower results. They take longer to show results compared to synthetics because the nutrients need to be broken down by the microbes before they become available to the plant. If your plant is showing signs of deficiency, it may take a bit longer to correct the problem with organic nutrients. It's harder to fine-tune. With synthetic newts, you can easily adjust the dosage and feed your plants exactly what they need at any given time. Organic growing is more of a slow burn. It requires more patience, and it can be harder to fine-tune your nutrient regimen. And lastly, it can be more expensive. Organic newts tend to be a bit pricier than synthetic ones. No different than the grocery store. How fun is that? Especially when you factor in additives like microbial inoculants or compost teas. But many growers feel the flavor, aroma, I'm not from England, and sustainability benefits are well worth the extra cost. So what are some tips that are going to help us? Start with a quality soil. Organic growing starts with the soil. Whether you're growing in soil, coco coir, making sure you're starting with a medium that's rich in organic matter and beneficial microbes is super important. Amending your soil with worm castings, compost, or perlite can improve drainage and aeration while providing a steady source of nutrients. Feed the soil, not the plant, like we've talked about. Remember that organic growing, you're not feeding your plants directly. You're feeding the microbes in your soil. Products like compost, teas, or molasses can help feed those beneficial bacteria, making them more effective at breaking down organic matter. Be patient. Organic growing is all about playing the long game, It might take a little longer to see the results, but the flavor, aroma, and overall quality of your buds may be well worth the wait. Just remember, patience is key, as with everything cannabis cultivation. So what are some eco-friendly tips for 2024? It's 2024. Sustainability is more than just a buzzword. Some of our companies are requiring more and more strict standards, and that's probably a good thing. It's becoming an essential part of cannabis cultivation, whether you're growing in a closet or running a commercial operation. There are plenty of ways to reduce your environmental impact without sacrificing quality or yield. Let's start with lighting, which is often the biggest energy drain in an indoor grow. LED grow lights are hands down the most energy efficient lighting option in 2024. They use up to 60% less electricity than traditional HPS or MH lights. And they produce less heat, meaning you'll spend less on air conditioning and ventilation. Now, I know the old school diehards out there love their old school lights and swear that the crop they get tastes better than from LED lights, and I can't argue with that because I haven't had enough A/B comparisons. So not only are LEDs more sustainable, but they also have a much longer lifespan, lasting up to 50,000 hours. That means fewer replacements, less waste, and a more sustainable grow room overall. Out of curiosity, let's see this. Hey Siri, how many hours in a year?
1 year is 8,765.
8,700 hours in 1 year. So you could get like, what is that, like 6.5 years if you just left your lights on straight. That's pretty cool. So obviously, that's going to mean fewer replacements, less waste, better for the environment. Gives you a more sustainable grow room overall. Brands like Spider Farmer and HLG are leading the charge with high-efficiency, full-spectrum LEDs designed specifically for cannabis growing. If you're growing in a region prone to drought, like parts of Cali or the Southwest, water conservation becomes critical. Cannabis can be water intensive, but there are plenty of ways to reduce water usage and still produce top shelf buds. One of the best ways to conserve water is by using a drip irrigation system. Check out Dr. MJ Coco if you grow in cocoa. He does a fantastic job of laying out what he does and makes it easy for you to duplicate at home. Anyway, drip systems deliver water directly to the plant's root zone, which reduces evaporation and ensures your plants get exactly what they need without wasting water. For home growers, auto watering systems like AutoPot are another efficient way to automate watering while minimizing waste. Check out our episode where we did do a deep dive on AutoPots. Another great way to reduce water consumption is by mulching. By adding a layer of organic mulch like straw, leaves, or compost to the top of your soil, you can help retain moisture, reduce evaporation, and keep the soil temperature stable. This is especially helpful for outdoor growers in hot climates. If you're looking to go even more sustainable, consider setting up a rainwater collection. Many areas allow homeowners to collect rainwater, which you can store in barrels and use to water your plants. It's a free water supply from the sky, and a great way to minimize your impact on local water supplies. One of the most environmentally friendly moves you can make is to reuse your soil. Rather than tossing out your soil after every grow, you can recharge it with organic amendments like compost, worm castings, and perlite. This not only saves money, but it also reduces the amount of waste your grow produces. By reducing soil, you can also create a more stable environment for beneficial microbes and fungi to thrive, which can improve plant health and yield over time. Many growers who use organic nutrients find that their soil gets better and better with each grow as long as they maintain it properly. Pro tip: if you're going to reuse soil, make sure to flush it thoroughly at the end of your grow to remove any salt buildup. Then add organic amendments to recharge that soil before your next grow. Next, we're going to look at the best nutrients for California growers, regional challenges and solutions for 2024. California, this one's for you. You have unique challenges: drought, high temperatures, and fluctuating water supplies, plus regulations. But don't worry, I've got some nutrient strategies that'll help handle these issues and come out with a heavy harvest. Water retention is key. One of the biggest challenges for California growers is dealing with drought conditions and ensuring your plants stay hydrated. To combat this, you'll want to focus on using nutrients and soil amendments that help retain water in soil. Products like coco coir and vermiculite are great for improving water retention while providing excellent aeration for your plant's roots. Adding organic matter like compost or worm castings can also help increase the soil's ability to hold water. When combined with a drip irrigation system or an autopot system, you can significantly reduce your water usage without sacrificing plant health. Another challenge for California growers is the extreme heat in some parts of the state. High temperatures can cause your plants to stress out, leading to nutrient deficiencies, wilting, or even heat damage. To combat this, you need to tailor your nutrient regimen to help your plants withstand that heat. Silica supplements are a must in hot climates. Silica strengthens your plant cell walls, making it more resistant to heat stress and drought. It also helps your plant retain water, which is critical in high temperature environments. In addition to silica, make sure you're using CalMag supplements, especially if you're growing in coco coir. Calcium and magnesium deficiencies are common in hot, dry climates, and adding a CalMag supplement can prevent nutrient lockouts caused by heat stress. Organic versus synthetic. What do we think is best for California? It can come down to a few factors like water availability, growing conditions, etc. While synthetic nutes may offer quicker results, organic nutrients can help improve water retention and overall soil health, which is crucial in dry climates. Organic amendments like kelp meal, alfalfa meal, and fish emulsion are great options for California growers looking to maintain healthy, nutrient-rich soil without depleting water resources. These slow-release fertilizers will feed your plants over time, keeping them nourished even in tough conditions. For growers dealing with extreme heat, using liquid kelp as a foliar spray can also help reduce stress during the hottest parts of the day. That foliar spray acts as a natural growth stimulant and helps your plants recover from environmental stressors like high heat. But what do I know? I'm in Canada. Email me at contactmccpod@gmail.com if you disagree with anything I just said there. Next, how to choose the best lights for indoor cannabis growing in 2024. Let's wrap things up by talking about lighting. Choosing the right lights for your indoor grow is one of the most important decisions you'll make as a grower. 2024, there are many more lighting options than ever before, with LED grow lights being the dominant force on the market. But it's not just about choosing any LED. You need to pick the right one for your grow space, your plants, and your goals. So why are LED lights the best choice for 2024? Let's face it, they are the reigning champs for indoor cannabis growing. And for good reason. Compared to traditional lights like HPS, or high pressure sodium, and MH, or metal halide, LEDs are far more energy efficient, produce less heat, and last much longer. If you're still using older lighting tech, switching to LEDs could save you up to 60% on your electricity bill, all while providing better light penetration and spectrum for your plants. So here's why LEDs are dominating the cannabis world. They're energy efficient. LED lights are incredibly energy efficient, meaning they use less electricity to produce the same amount of light as HPS or MH lights. This is crucial for home growers who want to keep their energy bills down or commercial growers trying to reduce operating costs. Full spectrum lighting. Modern LEDs offer full spectrum light, which mimics natural sunlight better than any other types of grow lights. This full spectrum includes UV and infrared light, both of which are important for cannabis growth, especially during flowering when plants need more and more intense light to develop those dense buds. And they have a low heat output. One of the biggest advantages of LEDs is their low heat output. Unlike HPS lights, which can get super hot and require extra cooling, LEDs run much cooler, meaning you won't need to invest in as much ventilation or air conditioning, saving you money and reducing your environmental footprint. They also have a longer lifespan. Like we talked about earlier, most LEDs can go for 50,000 hours. They last for years without needing to be replaced. Compared that to HPS lights, which typically need to be swapped out after 1 or 2 grows to maintain their effectiveness. LEDs are a longer term investment, but save you money. LEDs are a longer term investment, but save you money over time. Sentence is kind of weird, sorry. Meow, 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 meow. So how do we choose the right LED for our grows? They're not all created equal. So we got to pick a good one. Here are a few things to consider. Wattage and coverage area. The wattage of your LED light will determine how much area it can cover. As a general rule of thumb, you'll need about 30 to 40 watts per square foot of grow space. For example, if you have a 4x4 tent, you'll need a light that can output around 400 to 600 watts to ensure your plants are getting enough lights. PPFD and PAR values are things that you can measure if you're serious about growing. These metrics tell you how much usable light is reaching your plants. The higher the PPFD at your canopy level, the better your plants will grow. Aim for PPFD values between 600 to 100 UML during flowering for maximum bud production. Dimmability. Some LED lights come with dimmers, which will allow you to adjust this light intensity as your plants grow. This is helpful during seedling and vegetative stages when your plants don't need as much light. Dimmable lights give you more control over your grow environment and can help you save energy when you don't need full power. Top brands to consider are Spider Farmer SF series. The Spider Farmer LEDs are super popular for home growers because they offer great balance between being affordable and being decent quality. Their SF4000 is ideal for a 4x4 grow tent, and it delivers a full spectrum of light with excellent coverage. Another one is from HLG, or the Horticulture Lighting Group. They're a top tier brand for those who want the best of the best. Their HLG 650R is a beast when it comes to light output, delivering deep penetration for even the densest canopies. If you want maximum yields, this is one of the best LEDs on the market. Mars Hydro, another great brand for budget-conscious growers. Mars Hydro offers a wide range of LED grow lights that are perfect for small to medium-sized grows. Their TS series is especially popular for growers who want full spectrum lights at a lower price point. Lastly, we have Vipar Spectra, known for their high efficiency lights. Their Pro Series offers a solid option for mid-sized grow spaces. They're durable, efficient, and come with all the features you need for a smooth indoor grow. And our lighting schedules, we want to make sure we're getting that right. Our plants need different amounts of light depending on what stage of growth they're in. Lighting schedules are key to ensuring your plants stay healthy and productive. During the seedling stage, when your plants are a seedling, they don't need as much light. Start with a light schedule of 18 hours on and 6 hours off, and keep that light intensity relatively low to avoid stressing those young plants. In the vegetative stage, as your plants grow bigger, they need more light to fuel that growth. Stick with an 18-6 light schedule during veg and gradually increase the light intensity. Flowering stage. When it's time to flower, switch to a 12 by 12 light schedule. 12 hours of light and 12 hours of complete darkness. This change in lighting will trigger flower production, and you'll start seeing those buds stack up. Obviously, if we're talking autoflowers, this is kind of goes out the window a bit, and we can talk about that at another time, or email me. Contact mccpod@gmail.com. So how far should our lights be away from our plants? One common mistake many new growers make is placing their lights too close or too far from the plants. If the lights are too close, they can cause light burn, which will stress your plants and potentially damage your buds. On the other hand, if your lights are too far away, your plants won't get enough light and you'll see slow growth and small buds. So here's a general guide for how far your LED light should be away from your plants. When they're seedlings, keep the light around 24 to 30 inches away from the canopy. During veg, bring the lights down to around 18 to 24 inches. And during the flowering stage, get the lights as close as you can without burning the plants. Usually around 12 to 8 inches, depending on the intensity of your LED. But always keep an eye on those plants. If you see any leaves starting to curl or bleach, it's a sign that your lights might be too close and you should raise them. All right, folks, that's a wrap on today's Marijuana Cultivation Cannabis Podcast. We've covered everything from maximizing yields to choosing the best organic nutrients to making sure your grow is as sustainable as possible. We also hit some region-specific tips for my California growers and finished off with a deep dive into the best lighting setups for 2024. Whether you're growing a couple plants in a closet or running a full-scale operation, there's always more to learn, more to try, and new ways to improve your harvest. The cannabis growing world is constantly evolving. In 2024, it is shaping up to be another exciting year for cultivators of all levels. As always, I'd love to hear from you. Send your questions, feedback, or just some good vibes to mccpod@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at mccpod. That's M as in musical, C as in chariot, and C as in canopy, pod, MCC pod, for daily updates, grow tips, and behind the scene looks at my own grow. Until next time. Yeah, that.